Welcome back to our CBS News Texas I-Team special presentation on sex trafficking. We continue to take you inside the investigation of a prostitution sting in Tarrant County. Investigators posted fake sex ads and then set up in a Fort Worth hotel. And it didn't take long for men to arrive.
This black dually just pulled in. That's the vehicle that is currently right there at the end of the parking lot. One of our investigators is talking to him undercover. And then we have another one that is coming, and he should be here in about 11 minutes.
We got one white male in custody.
Just depending on how it goes, it seems like the individuals will show up all at the same time.
We have stag male, no luggage.
There he comes.
Sheriff's office.
You know, sometimes we'll have one at the door, we'll have one in the parking lot, we'll have one walking into the lobby, and another one 2 minutes away. Hopefully we kind of twist it up a little bit and just say, hey, this is a victim that you're victimizing, and the money that you're giving is not going to go to her. Maybe that helps change their mindset and their thinking. So they'll hopefully stop doing it and hopefully seek the help that they need. Hi, doing all right? Good. They have what's called MAZE. It's the Men Against Sexual Exploitation. And so we try to have them show up on our operations. If the individuals, the Johns, want to talk to them, they try to provide them some help with sex addiction, pornography addiction. These are individuals from MAZE. They're going to talk to him, or whatever's going on in their life that they have to reach out to commercial sex ads.
Sheriff's office.
How many times before today would you say that you've communicated with someone that's reached pay for sex?
You can bring them straight over here.
Okay, let me be frank. The course of 7 years. Once, twice, depending on what I have going on for that week.
So 1 to 2 times a week for the last 7 years?
Yeah.
Do you know what human trafficking is?
Yes, sir.
All right, and this is a form of human trafficking. What we try to do is reduce the demand for this to help these girls out, to help these victims out so they're not being victimized 10 to 15 times a day. So we try to talk to them. We try to let them know this individual that you're coming to meet, she could have a trafficker. She could be a victim of everything. Because they don't understand what human trafficking actually is.
Did you know that it was against the law to solicit for sex online? No? Okay, well, it's a state jail felony.
Solicitation of prostitution is a state jail felony in the state of Texas, okay?
I have a meeting tomorrow. What's the likelihood that I'd be able to attend my meeting?
It just depends on how fast they get you booked in downtown.
Transportation's on their way.
Sheriff's office.
Oh, my dad's gonna kill me so bad. He probably not got any problem pulling me up.
You've been arrested before?
Yes.
Okay.
For this stupid problem here.
Where were you arrested at?
Fort Worth. Oh.
For the same thing?
Pretty somewhere, yep. I fell for it again.
A while back we did an operation with Homeland Security, and within a week we had over 100 arrests. The demand for it is very, very high, and so that's why a lot of these traffickers are going into this lifestyle.
My outlook on prostitution is totally different than what it used to be before working in this human trafficking unit. I feel like every woman has a story. Like, no woman wakes up and says, I'm gonna go out here and sell my body for money. They all have a story. They all have a story. And every story that I've heard is pretty traumatic.
It has been 3 years since the North Texas then teenager Natalie Kramer says she was lured out of a Mavericks game by sex traffickers. I hit the streets with the man who helped rescue her as he searches for more teenagers trapped in a life of forced prostitution.
We've got one that's working here to our left right now.
It's Friday night, and private investigator J.B. Rice is on the hunt in northwest Dallas. He's driving along the track, an area known for prostitution, looking for teenagers who are being trafficked. He asked us not to show his face so he doesn't get recognized on the streets.
I think there's a high probability that 2 of our victims may be out here tonight.
Rice traced the 15 and 16-year-olds here after spending hours conducting a different kind of search online.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Inside this hotel room where we first met up with him, he was combing through an endless supply of ads, all offering sex for sale in North Texas.
In that 1-minute time span, 19 ads were posted in Dallas.
He compares the photos in the ads to pictures posted by the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, or NCMEC.
There's a high probability that they're going to pop up on the radar of a pimp or a predator. So runaways often turn into trafficking victims.
This is his full-time job at the Texas Counter-Trafficking Initiative, a nonprofit based in Houston. He says doing this research is the best way to make sure police will respond when he finds a juvenile.
I could easily have called law enforcement in Dallas and said, hey, I think these girls are up here because XYZ. Well, that's not going to mean a whole lot. But if I have eyes on them, or if I can prove out that, yes, this child is currently at this location, this is the street she's on, now that's actionable intelligence.
PI Dennis Osment also runs a nonprofit search firm in Carrollton called For the One Foundation.
We know that the longer they're on the street, the more vulnerable they are to obviously being hurt or being trafficked.
He and his fellow PIs do their own surveillance, setting up for hours at a time when they find a missing teenager. But he says in the last few years, some police departments have become less willing to step in when asked. He described a recent case where a PI called officers after watching a girl enter an apartment with a man.
Their response was, well, if you know she's in there, then tell the family where she is and they can come get her. And of course, we're not going to do that because if that's a trafficker in there, you don't want mom or dad knocking on the door because somebody is going to get hurt.
The I-Team dug into the numbers to see how manpower matched with the number of cases. We asked police agencies how many employees they assign to missing juveniles, runaways, and trafficking cases, and compared it to the number of missing juvenile reports filed in 2021. Across Dallas County, there is 1 officer for roughly every 80 juveniles reported missing each year. In Tarrant, there is 1 for every 51 missing juveniles. Law enforcement agencies in Denton County have 1 officer for every 31 cases. In Collin County, the ratio is 1 to 20, and that is not their entire caseloads.
We prioritize every case that comes in.
Jimmy Perdue is the president of the Texas Police Chiefs Association and the chief at North Richland Hills. He says every missing juvenile case is typically reviewed for risk factors, including social media history, drug use, and any previous incidents of running away. Even if a teen leaves on his or her own, he says detectives don't stop searching.
It is always naturally going to be a lower priority than a case where you have a child that's in danger. But to say that it is a higher priority than a shoplifting, I would say that's, so it's a balancing act across that specific detective's entire workload, their schedule and everything that goes on.
Perdue says when it comes to finding a runaway, there is no one-size-fits-all approach. Every case is different.
We understand the grief from a family standpoint. A lot of times there's just very little we can do.
That's where advocates such as Rice and Osment come in.
Yesterday, we were able to help recover a young lady.
Over the years, their organizations have helped recover more than 500 teenagers, putting a spotlight on the problem and providing hope back out on these streets.